Welcome to the next lecture of computer science and IP dear students. Good morning to you all. Now, in this lecture, we will discuss our new topic, and this is control flow statement. This topic is belongs to chapter number 4 for for IP student and chapter number 6 for CS student. Now, let's start our topic. Control flow statement. A program control flow is the order in which the program's code executes. The control flow of Python program is regulated by conditional statements, loops, and functions called. Python control flow statements are if statements, and there are a number of varieties of if, like if else, if statements. The next one is for loop statement, while loop statement, break and continue statement, and the last one is pass statement. So here is the first one, that is simple if statement. Decision making is required when we want to execute a code only if a certain condition is satisfied. So the syntax of simple if statement is if, now the text expression will come. If text expression will true, so it will execute the if statement. In Python, the body of the if statement is indicated by the indentation. Body start with the indentation. Indentation means it holds inside the body. Here is the syntax if, and now here is the indentation, then statement will execute. It shows that this statements will belongs to if statement. So body start with the indentation, and the first unindented line mark the end of body. So Python interprets non-zero value as a true, and none and zero as interpreted as false. So one example is here. So here is a one variable num. The value of this variable is 3. So I'm checking this value with the help of a statement. If num is greater than 0, yes, the value of num is 0. More than 3, more than 0, so it will be true. Then if statement will execute. So here is the if statement, print num. It will display the value of num, means 3 is a positive number. Okay, now the one more example is here. I'm taking here my negative value, so it will not come in the body of loop, so it will not display anything. So if else statement. The if else statement evaluate text expression and will execute body of if only when the text condition is true. If the condition is false, body of else is executes. Indentation is used to separate the blocks. So the same syntax is here. See the if statement, now the rest of the else. So means if condition is true, so it will execute the if body, otherwise false body will execute. False body will execute, means else body. So one program is here, the same program with the help the same program which we have already discussed. Now we can solve the same program with the help of if else statement. So here is the variable, and the value of this variable is 3. If num is greater than 0, according to the value, the condition will true, so it will display positive number or positive or 0. Suppose the value of num is not positive number, so it will come into the next block, means else blocks. So here is two values I'm giving. Please try these two variations as well. If else, if else statements. The elif is shorter of else if. It allows us to check for multiple expression. If the condition for if is false, it checks the condition of the next elif block, and so on. Means so on. Only one block among the several if elif else block is executed according to the condition. Then if block can have only one else block, but if it can have multiple elif block. So here is with the help of this statement we can use multiple condition, but only one condition will execute at a time, because in multiple condition only one condition will be true, could be true. So here is the syntax, means if elif, you can use multiple elif here. The if condition is true, suppose the condition of if block will false, then it will come in elif block. If suppose it is also false, it will come elif block. So multiple elif block we can use in this syntax. Other, suppose all if and elif block will be false, so it will come in else blocks and execute the body of else. Here is example based on L multiple if block. So num is a variable, and it here we are taking one variable with the help of input box. So it when you execute the program, so one input box will come and you will provide the value, means you have to enter a value. So it will come in, it will assign into num variable. Now we can check the program. If num is greater than 0, suppose you are giving positive number, so it will the condition will true and it will display positive number. Suppose you are giving negative number, so it will come if block, elif block, and it will execute negative number, otherwise the value will be 0. So how to use multiple elif in Python? So here is the two ways. So you can solve the program with the help of two ways. So these are the examples here. You can use elif, otherwise you can use like else after that if. Loops in Python. Loops are used in programming to repeat a specific block of code. Means if you are using loop in the program, so you need to take care कि suppose you want to execute a single statement multiple times and the time is defined by you, so you can use loops. So Python programming language provides following type of loop to handle looping requirements. So here is the two type of loops in Python: while loop construct and for loop construct. So while loop construct is here. The while loop in Python is used to iterate over a block of code as long as the text expression condition is true. We generally use this loop when we don't know beforehand the number of times of iterates. So the syntax is here: while text expression, if condition is true, it will execute body until the last step will come. So one example based on that. So here we are counting a number, here in this program we are displaying a hello multiple times. So how we can execute? Here is a one variable, the value of variable is 0, and we are choosing and we are using while loop. While count is less than 3, means the value of count is 3, then condition is true. So here the value of count is less than 3, so condition will true, so it will come in the body and it enhance the value of count, so with the help of 1. uh, so count plus 1 is equal to 1, because the value of count is 0, so it will be 1. So then print hello. So here print the value will be so it will display print hello one time. Now next it will come here, the value now count, the value of count is 1, so it will also true, so it will display 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, then print hello. Now the next time the value of count will be true, because it holds 2, so condition will true and come count 2 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now the count value is 3, then display, then this statement will display hello 3, third time. Now the value will be less than 3, the condition will fall, the output will come like this. For loop construct. For loop iterate over a given sequence. Syntax is here: for while in sequence, body of for. Here while is the variable that takes the value of the item inside the sequence on each iteration. Loop continue until we reach the last item in the sequence. The body of for loop is separated from the rest of the code using indentation. It can be used to iterate over a range and iterator. One range function is very important for the for loops. We can generate a sequence of numbers using range function. Range 10 will generate the number from 0 to 9. Here is the 10 numbers. To force this function to output all the items, we can use the function list. So one example is here: print, you just use print list range 10, so it will display output like this. Here is the output. We can also define the start, stop and step value as range. So you can use the syntax of the range function, like the first value will be start. Now from where you want to start, so it will, you just provide in start section start, then stop, then step value, and how many values you want to enhance. So step value default to 1, means without providing step value it will increase one value in each iteration if not provided. Suppose here one example is here: print list range 2 comma 20 comma 3. So the start value is 2 here, the stop value is 20, and the step value is 3. So it will display output like this: 2 5 8 14 17. One example based on for loop. Sum is equal to, here we are calculating the natural 10 natural number sum starting from 1 to 10. So 0, sum is 0 for I in range 1 to 10. The start value is 1 and the stop value is 10. You know that, so it will display 1 to 10, and it will increase one value in each iteration. So condition is true, so it will come sum plus 1 is equal to 1, the value of sum is 1. Now sum plus 1, sum plus 2 is equal to 3, sum plus 3 is equal to 6, like this it will come, and the output will come like this. Break and continue statement. These two statements are different. That means suppose you want to break the loop before its all iteration, so how you can break? So loop iterate over a block of code until text expression is false, but sometimes we wish to terminate the current iteration or even the whole loop without checking text expression. So break statement is here. The break statement terminate the loop containing it. Control of the program flows to the statement immediately after the body of the loop. If break statement is inside a nested loop, break will terminate the innermost loop. Example is here. Syntax is here. While test expression, we can use break with while and for also. So if text condition is true, so it will come in condition. If it will check the condition, then break the statement. Continue statement. The continue statement to skip the rest of code inside a loop of the current iteration loop. Loop code does not terminate but continues on with the next iteration. Syntax is here. It is used for both while and loop. The same type, the same thing is here in case of break and continue. So an example based on continue: for while in range 20. So it will, the range is 0 to 19. If the value is divided by 3 and remainder will be 0, so it will continue, otherwise print while and print pass statement. Suppose we have a loop or a function that is not implemented yet, but we want to implement it in future. It cannot have an empty body. We can use the pass statement to construct a body that does nothing. For example, here one dictionary is here, and I have passed four elements here for while in sequence. So here we will use the sequence in our future, so we can pass only. Thank you. Thank you everyone, because here is the end of this particular lecture, and please make the notes on the basis of these topics, and don't go anywhere, keep focus on study. Thank you so much.